What's up guys, it's Blake from Chasing Creative. I'm gonna show you guys today how to set up a form submission event so that way you can create a conversion from your Google Analytics account, your Webflow account using Google Tag Manager. And the reason you wanna set up conversions is so that way when you're running ads, you can retarget. You can also set up your ads to run off of the goal of getting that conversion, which is super important. So for me as an agency, form submissions means meetings, meetings means conversations, conversations mean booking of services and revenue. So that's where it starts and that's where it ends. Let's dive into it. All right guys, so let's dive into it. We are going to look at setting up a conversion, which means setting up an event from your Webflow website into Google Analytics 4. And I'm going to give you the 5 steps to walk through. I'll also put this on my blog, so check out the link there where you can see all the steps written out, including links that you want to click through. But the reason that you would want to set this up is multi. One, you want to see the traffic coming to your website. If they're completing a certain event or task, that's important to you. So this can be a regular event or this can be what they call a key event on your page. So you can use these key events. This is what Google's definitions are in your actual reporting so that way you can make better decisions. Now, the reason that I'm setting this up right now and I'm using form submissions or submit forms, depending on how you're putting that event into your systems, but I am using that to be able to track conversions from ads. And so I'm marking that as a conversion, telling Google when somebody comes to my website and takes this action, I want more people like that coming to my website. So let's market to them. Also, then when I'm setting up ads to retarget folks, I can retarget them based on their behavior on my website, which can be many different things. It can be a page view. It can be how they interact with a button, or in this case, it's a form submission, which is the most important to me as an agency. So let's dive into it. So first, you're going to want to sign into Google Analytics. I'm already signed in here. And if you don't have a property, you're going to have to create one, and I'll add how you can do that here. And what you're looking for is your measurement ID. And so you actually have an ID. I'm not going to share mine here because that might add some confusion, but it starts with a G, and that's how you're able to see your actual property. So you go into your admin and then you will go over to your data streams or property details here and click that in order to see. I'm not going to share mine because I don't want anyone using it, obviously. But once you do that, you're able to log into Google Tag Manager next and be able to use that to create a tracking for your Webflow project. So you'll want to make sure that you have Webflow, this code installed there, and you can do that pretty easily. I'll attach a link in the blog on how to do that if you haven't already set up Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics on your actual website. You're going to want to do that, but I always suggest just connecting it via Google Tag Manager and then making sure that you have the tracking script for your website as well. Okay, so now that you have your measurement ID, you're going to want to add that to Webflow. As I mentioned, you've already done that, which is great at this stage. So you want to have to do that before you get into it. So that way you have that tracking set up. Then you'll want to go over to Google Tag Manager. If you never use Google Tag Manager, here it is. You'll have all the information here in order to set up this event in tracking. So you'll go into Google Tag Manager, make sure you have that installed on your Webflow website so that way you can add these new tags. So you'll have the analytics and then you'll have the Google Tag Manager, or you could just use the Google Tag Manager and set it up that way. Some people do both, but most people recommend just doing everything through that Google Tag Manager to have less tags set up, obviously, and have less tracking scripts on your website. So you go ahead and do that, and then you're going to want to go into admin, install Google Tag Manager and Webflow. If you haven't done that, copy the GTM container code, as I mentioned, and then go into project settings in Webflow, custom code, and put that head code in the head code section, whether you're doing the Google Analytics or the Google Tag Manager. So next step is to create a new tag in Google Tag Manager. And this is getting to the premise of this video of being able to set up an event. So all you have to do is go to tags. And this is useful because a lot of us are setting up tags and we have no idea what we're doing, or it's new to us, or it's something that we didn't realize we could do ourselves, which is why I'm creating this video. And then you go to new, and then here you'll want to put a title in. So we could do form submit event. So just so we remember what that is, it can be anything there. Sometimes you can put the website, get as specific as you want for that, but I'm just doing that here for a demo to be able to show you. Put configure tag, Google Analytics, then you'll create a Google event. And here's where you'll put that measurement ID, and it will confirm that when you do that. So let's just see if it'll accept a dummy ID. For me, it's probably not the right codes here. And then you'll want to do an event name. I recommend form submission. You can have that there, or a form submit, and that will come up as your event. We don't need any of these other settings. And then we'll go down to triggering. We will hit the new button. I already have one made here, but just for the sake, right here, the form submission, but let's just for the sake, create a new one so you can see. Put a trigger title here, form submit. Tap that, and then now you're able to select form submission. And this is where you can select what you want. If you have an actual container ID for the form, which you can look on your website, if you scope out and look at the code there, you can see what the container or form ID could be. You could set that up, contains, equals, matches, includes, whatever the parameters are. But for this sake, it's all forms. So any form on my website that someone fills off, I want to trigger that event. So then you save again. Again, this is not a real code, so ignore that. When you put in your actual Google tag, which will look similar to this, it will approve it. So you hit that. Once you're done, you now want to go to submit. It's not live until you submit. Add a new descriptive name, added form. I tend to keep mine pretty basic. You can see I did one earlier, and it tells you the changes that I just made earlier. Hit publish, and you'll go live with these new tags. And now you've set up your tag in your event. And so this will live on your web page when someone interacts, and let's say they go into my contact page and then they fill out this form, they hit submit. Now that will be recorded. And mine, I had just set up, so events are not going through quite yet. It takes some time for these to start triggering. But then what you'll want to do is go over into your admin like we are now, go to events, and you will see that actually pop up here. It will say form submission or whatever your event name is titled, and you will just mark as a key event, right? And then you can also, if it's a key event, you can also then mark it as a conversion later on. But you can do that now, and that way you'll be able to actually track that conversion and see if it's triggering. So you've set up your Google Tag Manager, you've installed it on your Webflow website, and that header code, you've set up a trigger and an event through Google Analytics in your Google Tag Manager, you've saved the trigger and you've submitted, and now you've configured it as a conversion by toggling that on, or a key event, and being able to target from that way in the future, whether you're using an ad or you're actually just using it for your reporting. And so then you'll want to set up a test, go to your website, fill out the form, see that event pop up, populate here. If it's not populating, give it some time. Sometimes there's delays, but if you see it right away, then you can mark that as a key event and then conversion. And then you'll be able to check that real-time data as you're filling out those reports to verify submissions are recorded, and where you can see that real-time data here. Apologies for the low speed. You'll be able to see real-time users and activations of going to that page and then filling out the submissions on your actual page. And so there's no users here interacting right now, but you can see the engagement, the events that are taking place, and how those are recorded day to day. And they'll be able to pop up here, and you can sort form submission here and find that. Again, I just set mine up, so it's not populating yet, but we'll check it tomorrow and see if it is triggering properly. You do want to test these events, and having worked for a lot of different businesses, once they're set up, you want to test them and go through the actual process again. So I hope this 5 steps was helpful to you. Again, I know it's confusing bouncing around to screens. It's more of a visual to show you where to find information quickly, but I'll attach the links in each step for you to be able to set this up for your Webflow get events firing. Again, you could do this as customized as possible. I showed you how to do it for form submission, but you can do it for any event on your website that you want to track, as long as you have the container or the information that is needed to then track that triggering make that trigger happen on your website, which then creates an event. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope this was helpful to you. Hope you a lot of success with your website, and that if you have any questions, you're always welcome to shoot it in the DMs. If I don't answer it, other folks in the audience are always happy to answer some of these different more technical issues that come up when you're working on your Webflow website. Cheers. What's up, guys? So now that you know how to set up a conversion with Google Tag Manager for Google Analytics so that way you can run great ads, please like and subscribe below so I'll continue to be inspired to create these videos to help you grow and scale your business.